Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call to order the July 25th, 2019 regular meeting of the Kern County Planning Commission. Madam Chair, will you please call, or Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Ashley?
Here.
Mr. Judge?
Here.
Mr. McGivney? Ms. Skidmore? Here. Mr. Sprague?
I am here.
Mr. Hall?
Here.
Mr. Murphy?
Here.
Ms. Simon? Here.
Thank you very much. Second item on the agenda is Commissioner member announcement or reports. Seeing none, we'll move on to the approval of minutes of the July 11th meeting.
Make a motion to make approval of July 11th.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, will you please call for a vote?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is cases withdrawn or requests for continuance. Looks like we have none, so we'll move on to the consent agenda. Mr. Murphy, will you please cover that for us?
I will. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. These are items scheduled before your commission, which are being recommended for approval by staff. The applicant has been informed of any special conditions and has no objection. The hearing on these items may be expedited if no member of the commission or audience wishes to comment or ask any questions on the case. This evening, we have one case on the consent calendar. That is case number 3. This is zone change case number 40, map number 10210. Our applicant is Jose Escobedo by Wiley Hughes Surveying. The project's located on the north side of Olive Drive, approximately 200 feet east of Oak Haven Street in the Bakersfield area. The request before your commission is a change in zone classification from E1/2 RS to E1/4 RS on a more restrictive district on 1.73 acres. Your commission did receive an addendum staff report this evening. Subsequent to distribution of the staff report, staff realized that the recommendation we were proposing did not include language for proposed parcel maps. It is most likely that the applicant will propose and facilitate the development of a parcel map should this project be approved. So the addendum provided some revised language to include a parcel map. The recommendation before your commission this evening is to recommend the Board of Supervisors approve the zone change as requested, not to become effective until the recordation of the final parcel or subdivision map, and adopt the suggested findings as set forth in the draft resolution. That completes the reading of the consent calendar tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy. So,
Anybody in the audience?
anybody like to pull this item from the agenda? Commission or in the public? Seeing none?
Mr. Chair, if there are no other commissioners making comments on this, I would be prepared to make a motion.
None from me.
So I'll make a motion that we approve item number 3 as read into the record by staff.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
4 yeses, 1 absent.
Next item on the agenda is the public presentations. Pardon? This one doesn't have a right to appeal because it's just a recommendation. So.
That is correct, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Next item is the public presentation. This portion is reserved for anybody who would like to address the commission on any item that is under our jurisdiction but not on the agenda this evening. Anyone have anything? Seeing none, we'll move on to the public hearings. We have 2 cases, I believe. Mr. Murphy, we cover those?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Both cases this evening are action of the staff presentation is going to come from Ms. Simon.
Wonderful. Ms. Simons, how are you?
Thank you. Good evening, Chairman Ashley and Commissioners. The project before your commission tonight is a request of Meredith Carter to approve modification to conditional use permit number 6, map 82-36, to allow permanent entitlement for an event venue. Staff notes the project was continued from the June 27, 2019 agenda. Your commission instructed staff to re-advertise the project as an event venue in order to address the applicant's overall goal for the project site. In addition, a concern was raised by a nearby resident regarding the increase of vehicle accidents from the project site. As a reminder to your commission, the project site includes 3 contiguous parcels for a total of approximately 13 acres. The overall project site is developed with 2 single-family residences, 2 riding arenas, and numerous accessory structures, Staff has re-advertised the project to amend conditions of approval to allow permanent entitlement for an event venue. The event venue would allow the applicant to hold events including corporate, nonprofit, political fundraisers, special events such as weddings, birthdays, and anniversaries. During the course of the processing of the event venue request, surrounding property owners within 1,000 feet were notified, and as well as affected agencies and county departments. Staff has not received additional comments regarding this project. Staff continues to believe the site is suitable for an event venue, given its operation on the property since June 13, 2013, with no formal record of complaints with either the Kern County Code Compliance or the Kern County Sheriff's Department. Following the last hearing, staff has consulted with the Kern County Public Works Department regarding collision history on Round Mountain Road prior to and post the approval of the wedding facility, and concluded there has been no increase of traffic collisions. Therefore, staff would like to read condition 2 to read as follows. This permit authorizes an event venue. The event venue shall be for up to 250 total individuals, including but not limited to operators, employees, security personnel, food service staff, and guests and patrons. Events shall be limited to 6 months of the calendar year from March 1st through June 15 and September 15 through November 30th. All events on site shall end no later than 11 p.m. Any additions or expansions that are not shown on the approved plan may be subject to a formal modification to this plan or a new conditional use permit as determined by the Director of the Kern County Planning and Natural Resources Department. Staff therefore recommends your commission approve modification of conditional use number 6, map 82-36, subject to recommended conditions, and adopt the suggested findings as set forth in the attached draft resolution. This concludes staff's presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Simmons. Is the project proponent here? Would you like to make any comments? Please state your name and spell your last name for the record, please.
Meredith Carter, Carter. I think that you pretty much covered everything in the last meeting, but first I'd like to just say quickly, we appreciate the opportunity for 6 years that we've had. And we have amended our application to include events other than weddings, such as corporate events, political events, and fundraisers for nonprofit organizations. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Carter. Are there members of the audience who would like to speak on behalf of this project? For or against, you can do either. Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing portion of this. Go to the commission now.
Mr. Chairman, I'm happy that we revised the language in this from the last meeting that we had to having as an event site, and I think it will do well there as that and cover all the bases that we're looking for. Unless there are other commissioners that have comments on it, I'd be prepared to make a motion on it.
I agree, and I'll second.
I agree as well. I think this is a great facility, and they've done a great job for the past history, and look forward to having more events out there as well. So look forward to a motion.
I would make a motion, we approve item number 1 as read into the record by staff.
Sure. I too have been to a number of events at this facility. It's a fantastic facility. I think it's a great thing for the county and for the area, so keep up the good work. We have a motion and a second.
With that, I will second that motion.
Please cast your votes.
4 ayes, 1 absent.
This one does have a right to appeal. Mr. Murphy, will you cover that, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For projects where the Planning Commission action is final, those actions are subject to appeal to the Board of Supervisors by any interested person, and no development proposed by any application may be authorized until after the final date of appeal. An appeal may be filed with the Kern County Planning and Natural Resources Department located at 2700 M Street, Suite 100 in Bakersfield, with a filing fee of $540 on forms available at the department. The filing must be made within 14 days of and including the date of this hearing. If no appeal is received, the action of the Planning Commission is final.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy. Next item up on the agenda is item number 2, and Ms. Simons, I think you're going to cover that one as well, huh?
Thank you again. And good evening again. The request before your commission tonight is a change in zone classification from C2, that's general commercial, to M1 PD, light industrial, precise development combining, or a more restrictive district on 0.42 acre lot, and a change in zone classification from M1 to M1 PD, including the precise development overlay, or a more restrictive district on 0.36 acre parcel, and a precise development plan to facilitate the operation of a wholly enclosed recycling center on the entire site of 0.7 acres in an M1 PD district. This project was previously heard by your commission on June 13, where your commission requested additional information and clarification regarding number of customers, heavy-duty truck trips, and operating hours. The proposal is located at 2406 Edison Highway in Bakersfield. The site consists of 2 contiguous parcels totaling approximately 0.7 acres. The site is currently developed with an 8,600 square foot warehouse with no more than 3,000 square feet of outdoor storage. The surrounding area is a mix of commercial, industrial, and residential dwellings. The parcels adjacent to the project site consists of railroad tracks and a canal to the north, vacant land and single-family dwellings to the east, and an unoccupied commercial building directly to the west, and single-family dwellings and a church to the south. As part of your commission's consideration tonight, the applicant is proposing to process the recycled materials inside the existing 8,600 square foot warehouse, and including less than 300 square feet of outside recycled material storage area. The applicant is requesting the recycle center operate from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. on Saturday, and be closed on Sundays. There will be 3 full-time employees and 1 part-time employee. Following the hearing on June 13th, staff met with the applicant to discuss clarifications regarding the truck trip counts, entrance and exit patterns, and operating times. The proposed site plan denotes the access to the site provided by Edison Highway. A vehicle weigh scale is located on the east side of the warehouse. As shown on the applicant's site plan, the vehicle flow for customers dropping off recycling will be entering the site, coming through the entry, circling around inside, and then exiting out onto Edison Highway. The gate on Steel Avenue is utilized only by heavy trucks picking up from the site and by appointment only. Since the last hearing, staff has received 1 comment letter from Pastor Mark Harrison from the First Free Will Baptist Church on East California Avenue, who noted the recycling center does not bother or nuisance any of the ministries, and the recycling center has been a good neighbor. Staff has visited the site over a dozen times following the last hearing in order to observe the queuing pattern for the site between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. Staff has observed as many as 7 to 9 vehicles arriving prior to the opening at around 8:30 a.m. and queuing up at the Edison Highway gate. Staff observed the Steel Avenue gate open with a heavy-duty truck loading steel after 10 a.m., and the gate was closed after the truck left. Staff did not observe any queuing outside of Steel Avenue gate during those visits. Finally, the noise from the site was minimal prior to 9 a.m. Along with the recommended conditions of approval as part of the required development standards, And due to the queuing activity observed prior to 9 a.m., staff is recommending operation hours at Edison Highway entrance be from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. through 1 p.m. Saturday, and closed on Sunday. And the Steele Avenue entrance be by appointment only from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday, and closed on Sunday. Staff is also recommending signs be placed at both entrances. The sign on the gate along Steele Avenue is recommended to read, "No parking, customer entrance on Edison Highway, Steele Avenue entry by appointment only." And a sign along Edison Highway entrance or at the building can read, "Public entry on Edison Highway only, open 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday, closed Sunday, Steele Avenue entrance by appointment only." With this in mind, staff is recommending that your commission advise the Board of Supervisors to approve the zone change as requested and approve the precise development plan subject to the recommended conditions and adopt the suggested findings as set forth in the draft resolution. Thank you. This concludes staff's presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Simons. Is the project proponent here in the audience? So we're going to do this a little bit different than we did last time. So I would ask people that are going to speak, kind of have your thoughts collected. I want to give us all a chance to hear everyone, but we're not going to do the ping pong match like we did last time. So if you're going to speak, and then be done with it, and then make sure we can get everyone heard. So
Yeah. Hello,
Thanks,
my
sir.
name is Brian Morales, Morales. And I would just like to talk about one of the recommendations. We're just asking for our Steele Avenue entrance to be open from 8 to 4. And along with our normal business hours from 8 to 4. That's where we're asking for.
okay, I'll ask staff to respond to that request if you don't mind, Ms. Simons.
Sure. Staff is continuing to recommend that the Steele gate be open at 9 a.m. As read in the staff report, and that it be by appointment only.
Thank you, Ms. Simons.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Please state your name and spell your last name for the record, please.
My name's Michael Cleveland. That's Cleveland. I've been living on the 2400 block of Edison Highway it'll be 3 years in December. I live there I have 2 5-year-olds, a 6-year-old, and a disabled wife with Huntington's. She's in a wheelchair. And I've had to stop work about 2 years ago to be her caregiver in the final years. But I just want to let you guys know that we've never had any issues as far as commercial vehicles, traffic, noise, dust, anything. And we go by foot. We walk up and down that road several times a day to get to the bus stop on Mount Vernon. And, we've observed commercial vehicles coming, backing into the facility. And we've always seen a spotter, the employee will open the gate, look for pedestrians, vehicular traffic, what have you. And I kind of use it as a learning experience for my kids to, keep an eye on things, the safe sides of the trucks to be on, and what have you. But we've never had any problems with the recycling center. And even, because I walked the kids to the bus stop on Steele and Exchange, even, the bus comes around 8:15 in the morning. And even when they had the trucks come in by 8 in the morning, we've never had a problem. Never, not one time, no kind of concerns, and so we have no problems with their hours of operation, even if they just stay from 8 to 4, on that back gate. So, thank you.
Thank you, sir, very much for your comments.
Chairman. My name is Jesus Murillo, and I think by appointment, the Bay Gate is,
Will you please state your name and spell your last name for the record?
yeah, the Bay Gate by appointment is okay.
No, will
And-
you state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Jesus Murillo.
Okay.
You want me to spell it?
The last name, please.
Murillo. And I think by appointment, the Bay Gate is okay by appointment, but the hour, 3 p.m. is too early. It'd be okay to stay open until 4 or 4:30. The reason is sometimes they overload the trucks, and they gotta come back and take some weight off of the trucks. Okay, they need to use the loader to take the weight off. And sometimes Mr. Morales, they have to take it out by hand. They go out there in the road and take it out by hand. So they got to bring it back and unload the weight. So they stay a little bit more late, open and use the loader to unload it. I think just the time, 4:30, be okay. And by appointment, the Bay Gate is okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Murillo. Do you have others to comment?
Hello, I'm Michelle Aguirre, Aguirre. 8 to 4, what they're suggesting, I actually don't have a problem with it. It's just if it was earlier hours that I would have had a problem. And also that it's just going to be the heavy-duty trucks, because they actually get everything in the trucks, and it's not that much spillage on the street. So, yeah, I'm fine with pretty much everything.
Thank you, Ms. Aguirre.
Thank you.
Any further questions or comments? Okay, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Open it up to the commission.
Thank you, Commissioner. I just add one question to staff. So it seems as the applicant is okay with everything here except for this appointment only. I was not here for the last hearing, so if you could just help me understand what the staff reasoning is to keep it from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. and what the thought process behind that was.
Sure. The reason why we're keeping it to ending at 3 p.m. is because there are school children that use that route coming from a bus stop, and so that is why we're doing the restricted hours between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m.
Okay, thank you.
The hearing's closed.
Sorry, sir, we've closed the public hearing piece of this.
Are there any other questions from planning commissioners?
No questions from
Then I'm prepared to make a motion to approve item number 2 as read into the record by staff.
I'll make a motion to second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
Wait, hold on just a second. There you go. 4 ayes, 1 absent.
Thank you very much. This one goes to the board, so there's no right to appeal at this point. That brings us to the close of tonight's meeting. I would certainly entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you all for coming.